What's up, everyone? I'm CL Connolly, and today I'm going to be letting you know Family Affair will be on sale on Wednesday, August 14th. That is this Wednesday. So that one is going to be out. I do have my website, clconnolly.com. That's CLCONOLLY.com. And I'll put that down below as well. So I do have that out. Do have that up. I'm still trying to figure it out, so give me a little while. I do have the books listed, just these two though. I still have to go out and get Friendly Misfortunes to put on there. So I do have these books on there. I'm still trying to figure it out. I took pictures of them, and then I could see the pictures of them until I logged out. And then when I logged back in again, for some reason the pictures are gone, and I don't know why. So we're just going to I'm going to figure it out. I promise. I figured out how to get my books listed because that took me forever to try to figure out how to get my books listed on there. But like I said before, I know how to use apps. I don't know where my phone is right now, which is really bad because I have no idea where my phone is. Well, I'll figure it out. But I know how to use apps. So I can use apps and I can do that. And I never have an issue. But I haven't been able to figure out how to do it on the computer. So I've been trying to go to like my website on the mobile site and then going to the full site and trying to see what I can do there. Because I know that sometimes you can do it that way, but I've been able to add things from the app and stuff like that. And that's how I got these on there because I couldn't figure out how to do it from my computer. But like I said, most of my internet has been from my phone and not from the computer. I also grew up in a time where while you were on the internet, somebody called, it kicked you off the internet. So I'm just saying. So anyway, I'm figuring it out. I'm getting my website up. These two are listed on there. I do have a limited amount of quantities. I think that's too much here. I do have limited quantities. Words are hard today and I have to edit, so exciting for me. Let's see. So I do have these two listed on the website. I have limited quantities at this time. I do need to place an order with my publisher, so I will have some from my website. They are coming directly from me. Otherwise, you can order on Amazon.com. You can order on BarnesandNoble.com. I do have them, like Amazon has them on there for $12. I put them on my website for $10. That's just because if you order from Amazon, I get a lower, lower commission, I guess you could say. But I would like to say thank you to anybody who actually purchased a book, because I did get a commission report from my publisher. Says I sold 3 books last month. Doesn't tell me which books they are, but I sold 3. Doesn't tell me which books they are. Doesn't tell me, who they were sold to or anything like that. Won't tell me the medium of where they were sold from. So I don't know if it was Barnes & Noble or Amazon. And I know that there's several other websites that I have seen the books on. So I don't know where it's been sold from, but that's okay. If you bought a book, thank you. And it won't tell me which book, which is actually kind of frustrating because I don't know which book I sold. But that's okay. I sold 3. I'm happy with that. It's been a while since I've had any sales. That's why I'm like, I need to have a new book come out so people will buy my book. So anyway, Wednesday, Family Affair will actually be available, and that's kind of exciting because, it's the new one in the series. So now I have to email all the people who purchased the first one, because when the people who purchased the first one, I actually wanted to get feedback from them because it was my first book. So everybody had emailed me. It's on my copyright page. So I'm going to go ahead and email all of them and get that taken care of so that they know that the second one is actually coming out, because most of them were the ones who requested a sequel because of the way the first one ends. So, and I'm going to put it this way. I don't know if I've said this in a video before because I record a lot of videos and then delete them because I feel like I either rambled or I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know if I've said this in one of the videos that I posted, but my books are like seasons on the television. So when you first start, you've got the, season premiere. And then when you get to the end, you've got like the season finale. So it leaves you on the edge. It wants you to know more. So the next one, you've got the season premiere. So it automatically goes back to what was in the first one. So you're like, okay, I remember what's going on now. So then you go into the next one. And that's how that works. And there is a season finale at the end of this one that'll go into the fourth one. Unfortunately, it's in the fourth one. But that's okay. Like I said, I had to write Fundamental Affair specifically because there's characters in Fundamental Affair that are mentioned in Fruitful Affair. And I felt like it kind of gives you an idea of who the main character really is to make it a little easier on the reader, because then you get to figure out exactly who she is, and then you can figure out how she's grown, which is a good thing. So you can see how she went from, this sweet little kid into this tough amputee, I guess you could say. But anyway, that's beside the point. This whole video, its purpose is the fact that Family Affair comes out on Wednesday. I'm getting my website taken care of. I am looking a little rough today, but that's okay. I didn't feel like putting any makeup on. But anyway, so Family Affair comes out on Wednesday. So if you've already got your copy of Forbidden Affair, go ahead and get your copy of Family Affair on Wednesday. I did notice, though, that Amazon is carrying it. So Amazon does have Family Affair listed. And I noticed that on Sunday, and I believe that is a pre-order. But that's on Amazon. Because when I had clicked on it, it actually had said will be shipped after the 14th. So it's similar to a pre-order type thing, I guess. Anyway, I do have both of them listed on my website, so you can get both of them on my website as well. And I do take credit cards. I can also take credit cards live. So I was kind of excited to get this, which seems kind of weird. But it's literally just a card swiper and a chip reader. So I can take credit cards anywhere for my books, which I'm kind of excited about. I'd be a heck of a lot more excited if, I didn't feel like I was trying to get attention for a convention type thing. But anyway, the horror conventions are difficult to get into as a vendor. Especially first-time conventions when it's their first year. And what they're doing is they want big names. If you're not a big name, they're going to go, sorry, but we'll give you free tickets so you can go, so you can see what it's like. And then we also encourage you to, look at it next year as well. Yeah, because I wasn't looking at it for next year. I was looking at it for this one. Well, it's 2020 anyways when the convention is. It's 2020. But that's okay. I understand they're hard to get into. There really are. I'm just going to say this because there is one in Dallas. Love the one in Dallas. But the one in Dallas, they don't do big names. Like the celebrities and stuff like that, yes. But like the vendors and stuff, they're not big names. And that's why I love about that one. And the guy who runs it is like awesome. I guess I could say it. I'm like terrified to say anything that could possibly get me in trouble because I don't know what is like too far type of thing. Anyway, Texas Frightmare Weekend in Dallas is awesome. That's all I'm going to say about that one. That is the horror convention that is in Dallas every year in May. I've been twice. I took my mother once. My mother was actually, excited about it. Now, the one time I took my mother, though, it was right after Wes Craven died, and I was a little sad. All of the Wes Craven characters, and, everything from his movies that he'd ever done were there. And Wes Craven was like my idol. As weird as it is, it's like I'm a writer. Shouldn't writers be my idols? No, Wes Craven, because he is creepy AF. And I love it. I love it. Okay, without sounding like a total nerd, the Scream series is my absolute favorite movies. I will literally put them in and just let them play on the TV just to have something in the background because I absolutely love those movies. And unpopular opinion, but Scream 4 was my most favorite of the entire series. I loved Scream 4. That's a total unpopular opinion, but whatever. Scream 1 has the most memorable lines. But anyway. So I have been to a few conventions as a spectator, but not as a vendor because they're always so expensive. And that's like my biggest thing is the fact that I don't have, almost $1,000 to spend just to sell my books there, which I probably won't even break even. So I wanted to try the one that was here, actually, in my hometown. And I thought, cool, I may not live anywhere near the convention center that they're going to be at, but I can get a hotel room out there because the hometown I live in is kind of, I don't know. So the hotel's a little cheaper than it's needed. So, I mean, I could get a hotel room. I could stay there. I wouldn't have to worry about driving back and forth because it would take me 3 hours to get there every day. Because it is a big city. I no longer live in the big city. I live, a couple towns. I say a couple. It's like five towns away from the big city. But technically it is my hometown. I grew up there. So, and I lived there up until the point that I decided that it was time for me to go move out in the middle of nowhere and get away from all the traffic and everything else. So, anyway. So it was right there, hometown. I was like, yes! And of course it's the first year, and I'm like, I can't believe we're actually getting one. And so the first year, it's actually not that bad. The price and stuff like that to get a booth is actually not that bad, which I was ecstatic about. I was like, yes, okay. So then I start making up a budget. I do this every single time. I make up a budget. How many books can I get? How much, the booth is going to cost me? What I can get that needs to go in the booth, my printing costs, and, printing for like banners and posters and stuff like that. So I start looking at all this stuff. So I make up a budget. Because I'm crazy. My husband doesn't understand that either. So I had this huge budget for, for the convention and everything. And I knew it was going to be at least a month before I would hear whether or not they chose me. But anyway, so by the time I heard, and I was so glad I hadn't bought anything yet. I hadn't purchased anything. I just had the budget because it's not until June of 2020. So I have time. And by the time I heard from them and everything else, and they said that, unfortunately we've decided, we had to cut some vendors because they had such a huge response. Well, the city we're in, I'm sure you did. It wouldn't surprise me if there aren't, 5 other writers in this city that are trying to get this spot, which I can understand. They only take so many of each vendor. Because they have to have room for all the celebrities. So, anyway. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I only had my budget. I hadn't purchased anything. At least I know where I can go from there. Now, unfortunately, I do still have to purchase books. Regardless of whether or not I'm purchasing it for, a convention or for personal inventory. Because I do like to do a lot of things in person. I do, whenever someone is, and I like doing this for like great customer service too. Like the lady who sold us the RV, I gave her a copy of my books, both of them, the Forbidden Affair and Friendly Misfortunes. So she has a copy of that, or she got each one of my books, and she was just the greatest ever. Unfortunately, now whenever we go up there, she's not there anymore, so we have to find a new person and whatever. Anyway. So I do like giving out copies of my books so that, they know, and it's only my first two. So after that, they're like, oh yeah, when you find out that you've got another book coming out or anything like that, then somebody's going to buy it. So I like giving out my books, and I can't tell if it's more of the fact that I just like, look what I did, you know, and a lot of times it's really not for the money. It's more like, look what I did, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna make sure that this video is not that long, because last week's was long, but it was a tag, so I expected it to be long, and everything else ends up being like 30 minutes long, and I don't know why, because I ramble, obviously. Anyway, I will leave my website below. Also, I am on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Not so much on Twitter, but it's there. I'm more active on Instagram. I take a lot of pictures of what I'm sitting here doing, because 90% of my time is sat right here in front of my computer. Family Affair comes out on Wednesday, so if you do go on Amazon to order it, it will be a pre-order. And that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye!